Hello,
Hi, everyone.
everyone.
Hi.
I
Hi.
can see some
Good
familiar
morning.
faces.
Yeah, good morning and good evening,
Okay,
wherever
let's
you
mute everyone.
find yourself, and welcome to Wed Vibes live session. And I'm thrilled to see you today. And we're gonna talk about luxury through the lens of relationship. So the topic today is luxury is the relationship. And we have a best speaker to dive into this topic and break it down. She's a renowned planner, the designer, the influencer, and the trendsetter, Laura Ritchie from Grit and Grace. And before we'll dive in, as a tradition, because I see a lot of familiar faces, I will ask you to do what? To introduce yourself. Please put in the chat your name, your location, and your profession. And of course, put the chat on fire. Don't hold yourself to send some kind words and greetings to Laura, to Wed Vibes, and to fellow professionals. And I always encourage you to take advantage of this session. And for this 1 hour of wisdom that will be shared with you, please be present, ask questions, give comments, share insights, and yeah, be just active. And you know, guys, that at Wed Vibes, our mission is to discover. And why the chat is so silent? We
No,
have
no,
more
I
than
think
60
people are
people.
just
Ah, okay.
typing. Give
Maybe,
them a
maybe,
minute.
yeah. All right. So, you know, guys, at Wed Vibes, our mission is to discover and showcase amazing wedding talents all over the world and help you to convert your talent into success or money. And we also foster this amazing community of wedding professionals where we empower you with marketing tools and PR tools, and also have like this transparent, honest conversation about all behind the scenes of the business. And today's session with Laura is part of this movement. And before we will start the session, the deck, the presentation, I will pass over to Daria to give the right and great introduction to Laura and share all the highlights of her journey and why it's really important to listen to her insights.
Yeah, like as a tradition, I will start with, yeah, here's the guest that needs no introduction, like, but I will still try and do my best. Yeah, and I can, so welcome, Laura. And I can talk a lot about Laura's accomplishment and achievements, being 15 years in the industry, being recognized by so many media outlets, including WEDVIBES. She's like, for sure, the best wedding planner in the United States, maybe like in the whole world. But
Oh my
instead,
gosh.
yeah, it's a good
I will
start.
send you
That's
the
that's a
hearts.
good start. Yeah, but instead, I want to bring your attention to Laura's unique brand positioning. And whenever we talk about upscale luxury, I know you don't like this word, but still, yeah, we like whenever we talk about this segment, let's say in the industry, we had this certain image in mind, like how we supposed to show up, like what should we share on social media, for example. But Laura is the best example that being unapologetically herself, like being true to herself, finding her like identity, it's the best the thing you think you can do to attract your dream clients. And here's a quote from the website that I absolutely love. Find us in neon, then everyone else is in beige. We bring the big ideas, the dance party, and the cocktails, yet we answer every freaking email. I love it. I
I
love it.
wonder, Laura, was it you or was the copywriter who crafted this amazing
I think
It was me.
motto?
It's definitely me. Hi, everybody. I was letting these lovely
hello.
ladies do all the talking, but no, that is me. And I did have a help with a copywriter, but we are dear friends and we talk in the same tone. And if you know me, then you know I use some colorful language most of the time. And so that is very true.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you follow social media, you will find like some, yes, colorful language, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And yes, we're here to pick up some ideas from Laura's journey, also to pick up her brain on how she creates these unique ideas, from tomato escort cards to banquet boats for the St. Patrick's Day, right? So yes, Laura, thank you so much for finding time to join us today, and the floor is yours. And we're here.
Wow, thank you, girls. What an amazing intro. And hi to everybody from wherever you are around the world. I see some local friends in here. It's so nice to get a chance to talk with everyone. And thank you, Daria, for such a great start to this. I immediately, when they reached out, I thought, oh my gosh, I'd love to talk. I can talk to anybody. I can be alone in a room in a closet and I'm completely fine talking by myself. But when they brought up this topic, I kind of have the ick to be Gen Z about the phrase and the word luxury. I think it's been overused a lot and the meaning behind it has been lost. And so when the girls asked me to speak on this, I said, well, you might not like this, but I actually don't like that word. And I think a lot of people think if you're not luxury, which many people attribute to just money, that you're not doing a good job. And to me, luxury is about the relationship that you foster with your clients and how you get to a successful business by building upon that. And so the girls were very kind in letting me kind of drive the ship about what I think about luxury and how it's kind of brought me to this point in my career. So as you see here, luxury is the relationship, and some cornerstones for our company is partnership, trust, storytelling, and reflective design. And reflective design to me means that we are listening to the clients, we are taking time to learn about them and creating an event that is a reflection of who they are and why they're there. And that's really the most important piece for me as we kind of build this structure together. And it's not just really about the money side, and I think that's the piece where we get lost in the sauce. The last year or two has been, that word has been pounded into everyone. And when we're talking about price points for people and, oh, we're just a baby wedding or we're a mini luxury or ultra luxury, that has to do with money. And money doesn't make all the things happen. And so I think that that's kind of where this whole piece comes in today, that I want you guys to feel like you're being heard at every price point and that you're providing your clients luxury services. And that's really important. And first and foremost, really kind of where this all comes from. Girls, I'm having a problem changing the screen to my next slide, which is not cute.
Yes, let's stop sharing for screen. Yeah. And I saw like the people were like so impressed they started drawing.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
we like drawing, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it's not sharing properly. Let me try again.
Yes.
Because I worked so hard on this slide deck for you guys.
Yeah, we want to see it.
So it should be seen. It deserves to be seen.
Let's see if
Let
I
me,
can
yeah,
do it.
just in case. Okay.
We can try to drive ourselves.
Can you share it for me? That might be helpful.
Yes.
Yeah, I can definitely do it for
we
you.
have it.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, I'll kind of tell you about what I was going to say, so we keep everybody entertained. So how I kind of got started in the industry, I actually went to university for fashion design and marketing. I actually always thought I'd be like the next Anna Wintour, if you will. And little old me 25 years ago thought, oh, she'll definitely retire at some point. God bless. Of course she has. And we don't want her to retire, so it's fine.
She's lasting forever.
If you go to page 2, that would be amazing. Thank you. And so I thought being in fashion and design would take me to New York to do journalism and the fashion production side. I actually used to do behind the scenes fashion show production for extra credit for my classes. We would dress models. And I had this epiphany at 17, 18, that, oh my gosh, I can combine design and fashion with being bossy, logistics, Seeing the reaction of people though at a fashion show was my light bulb moment, and realizing, oh my gosh, you can actually see the progression of something that was made, created, designed, and then produced, and seeing the reaction of people loving that production was where I was like, I'm going to be a wedding planner. And at the time, that was not a common job as it is today, as our industry has obviously blossomed and changed so much. Even since I've been in, obviously weddings have been around for thousands of years, but for me, the heart and soul of that is really what I enjoy the most. This page here is truly, I don't like a bio, like a normal bio. I feel like nobody reads anything these days. And so I have this really not grammatically written, obviously, bio on my website, but I mean all of it. I am an envelope pusher. I'm unapologetically myself all the time. I love patterns. I want to do stuff to the beat of my own drum. I like to call myself the make it happen captain. If there's a will, there's a way. If you're not familiar with Uncrustables, please get some. I do have a mouth of a sailor, but I think the most important piece here, and which leads into today's conversation, is that people might come to me as clients, but they really leave as friends. And I don't mean friends like we're best friends every single day. I mean that they trust me as you would trust your friend. And again, that is luxury. Next slide, Alex.
And I love that you have patterns even like on the wall behind you. And just for you,
Yeah.
I wore stripes today.
Thank you. Thank you. We love a little snazzy moment.
Yes.
Okay, so I said like I would be the next Anna Wintour. After college, and I did major in fashion, someone said to me, you should go work in hotels. And I was like, ew, why would I want to do that? I'm so glad I did. I did 4 years of working in hotels and catering companies, and that is the best training you could ever ask for. A little taste of all the things. But really, the hospitality side is what I learned the most. It's not just pretty, pretty. That's not luxury. The pretty stuff is great, but if you don't have the backbone and the logistical heart and soul, and with the mind and the hat on of hospitality being first, none of that pretty stuff matters. I can't tell you how many times I get text messages from past clients while they're at someone else's wedding and they're taking pictures and they're like, oh my gosh, looks cool. It's a disaster. It's freezing. Wow, look at this escort card. Well, none of it's alphabetized. We all spent 25. It's mind-blowing to me. And so I think taking in the hospitality and the client experience first and foremost, again, luxury, not just money, it's thoughtfulness. Next slide. Okay, so for me, a client story begins because we only take on currently about 4 weddings a year. Or at a time, I should say. I kind of always think of everybody as like a graduation year, if you will. I think of certain clients as like 2021 brides or 2023 clients or couples. I don't know if anyone else thinks like that, but I kind of think of them as graduation years or like a moment in time. And with that, and 4 events for me feels really good right now because I'm really leaned in on this hospitality, client focused, ultimate trust level to where I've been able to produce the events that I've been producing and that I'm overly proud of over the last specifically 5 years, I would say, because I have the bandwidth to get to know them and get them to trust me with my kooky ideas. And I'm not spreading myself out so much that I don't have the time or I'm getting people mixed up. And, you know, there were years I did 60 weddings. There were plenty of years we did 12 to 18. Don't get me wrong. The luxury for me right now is being able to do 4. And I don't take that for granted either. But the 4 that I do take are multi-level, multi-day, extremely detailed, and overly punctuated with these clients' families and moments and the pieces that you guys obviously thankfully appreciate when you're seeing it online or you're seeing it on Instagram and we're getting such big reactions because they are so thoughtful and it's not just $1 million worth of flowers, which we love. We love all the flowers. But the things I'm finding that have really truly gone viral or had such a big splash were not the most expensive things. But it takes a lot of effort on my part to dig in so deep with these clients. And so for me, 4 feels really good. Next slide, Alex. Okay, so here's my kind of things that I've leaned into for making sure that the luxury is the relationship side of stuff. And it might sound a little counterproductive, but I'm the one in charge. The clients are not driving the bus. They are sitting shotgun, but I'm driving this train. And so a couple pieces for me that make that up is that my design perspective is bigger than what they're anticipating wishes and thoughts could be. Most clients have never done a wedding before. Most clients maybe have done a wedding, but they're obviously looking for something different if I didn't already work with them. Though we love another daughter. We love another couple from the same family. My tomato girl summer wedding sister just got engaged and I'm about to make a contract for her. So we love a return family when they're good families, right? But for me, when it comes to, it's about, they've hired me. They want my design. They've come to me. And so when these clients are coming to you, I'm not, gee, like, show me your Pinterest board. I don't want to see your Pinterest board. I mean, I'll take a look just to like get a gist, but I literally never go back to their Pinterest board. It's not that I'm not listening to them. It's just that they've hired me to create something special. They're paying me to come up with something unique, not to regurgitate something they've seen before. I do want to get a peek inside, but my design perspective and what I'm going to create for them is bigger than anything they could have thought of or know that's out there or that I've even come up with yet. And with that, I'm always unapologetically myself and stand strong in my beliefs to the point where if things start going awry in a relationship with a client, you got to stand on business and say, this isn't working. This is not why you hired me. I'm not really sure why we're fighting at every point when you've hired me to give you the advice, the right vendors to point you in the right direction. And there are times where we've had to let go of a client because they just cannot lean into the process. And that's okay. But I think we pour ourselves so much into our careers and really I mean, we're all up at night thinking about these things. These clients don't realize how much of your heart and soul you're throwing into your personal companies. These are typically small businesses. And if they can't lean into you telling them exactly what needs to happen, something is wrong. So completely being unapologetic at all times. Not blending in with the trends. It works. There was a time when we had changed our company like colors and designs to like this shabby chic blue, like baby blue thing 10, 12 years ago, because that's what was popular. And I thought, oh, I'm going to attract these clients that, that's what's pretty and that's what's on. It was so not me and not us. And the minute I kind of went back to black, if you will, I started seeing the client. I was putting out there what I wanted to come back to me. And so letting these clients hire the vendor that you want to be, that you are showcasing works every single time. And that's where I'm seeing the luxury clients come in because they are looking for something special. They want something unique. If you just wanted an all white and light blue wedding, I can do it, of course, but you didn't come to me for that. I don't think you have to be a jack of all trades necessarily. I think you should do what you want to do and show people what that is that you offer. Another piece of the luxury relationship piece is I really know how to serve and pitch my idea. I kind of have a drum roll moment for most of my clients, where I say, we're going to have our design presentation day on this date. And I've been toiling and coming up with ideas. And when I show them the full idea deck, here's everything. Here's literally what I'm going to do for your wedding. I dare I say this, and I almost want to knock on wood. No one has ever said, I hate it. They all go, oh my God, I love it. I didn't even know I could print my own linen. I didn't know that was possible. I'm obsessed with this. I love it so much. And so coming up with your own method to your madness of how it's going to be produced and showed to the client in a way that they're impressed and floored and not like, oh, I didn't really like that. That's a luxury thing that I'm offering, that I'm literally saying, here's your day. Here's all these ideas that I've come up with over months and months, and this is your day. Here's your wedding. Not constantly asking them, what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? Again, you're the professional. And lastly, on this slide, if you build it, they will come. I cannot tell you how many times I was scared to put something out there, or that people aren't going to get it, or it's going to come across as weird, or odd, or not luxury, or not fancy enough, or it's a little cheesy. Every time I've done the next crazy thing, people are even more excited. And every time I do something, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so specific to that client. That Monday morning, I have 10 more inquiries of, I cannot believe you figured that out. This is so special. So when you build it, they will come back to you. They're looking to hire someone special, not necessarily to copy, that's the hope, but that to see that you're capable of these things. Next, Alex. Okay, this is a perfect example of what I just said. I am constantly waiting for the right client. I have these ideas in the back of my brain that I harbor for long periods of time, and I'm waiting for the right client to plug in these ideas for when it's right. And by learning about my clients and listening to them and taking the time to dig into their families, where they met, who they are. And I don't mean surface level. I mean, like on a day-to-day basis, we're talking. And because I'm only doing 4 weddings a year, I have the time and the bandwidth to kind of gain that trust from people, to create unique things. That, wow, like this escort card wall I just did, in April. This is the first time you guys are seeing this photo, so feel special. And yes, I posed the girls in those dresses next to the thing. Come on, guys. Like, that's a part of it. This is a great
It's a
example.
direction for you.
Yeah, I mean, look at that picture. It's so good.
Yeah.
I have wanted to do this 3D boxed wall forever. I believe it was Queen Elizabeth's Golden Jubilee. There was a wall similar to this, but it was cut out of the Queen's profile. And it was done in a garden setting for, I'm pretty sure it was the Golden Jubilee. I loved it. I have been saving that picture, that inspiration, for I don't know how many years it was. And I'm just waiting. I'm trying to find the right client. I just want to do something like this. I think it would be so cool. Well, this client in particular, the mother of the bride's name is Bunny Lamb, like the animals. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do, I was like so excited to do this idea also of these sheep covered in flowers, or lambs out in this garden, and they could have escort cards.
Yeah.
The client was like, no, we don't want to do that. We love that idea. That's cool, but we're not going to be lambs anymore. That won't be the bride's last name. We really don't want this to be all about the bride's family. We want it to be about us becoming a family. Back to the drawing board. And then I'm like, wait, I have this idea I've been holding on to for this wall. what if I use their new last name, which is O Berry, O apostrophe Berry,
Mm.
and I do this as an O. And I was like, oh my gosh, actually it'll look incredible as an O, you know, kind of a portal, if you will.
Yes.
And the
Mhm.
final piece that you can't see in this picture, but you will see this published very soon somewhere special. It ends in a picturesque view of the golf course that they had the wedding at. And the idea is that it was like a portal to their past and to their future, that they're all becoming O'Berries, but that it's looking out over the golf course to which both families have been members at this club their entire lives. And they actually met at this club in high school originally, in this whole amazing story. So I present this idea with these pictures and these sketches and all the things and whatever. And I'm like, Mom goes, I don't get it. I don't understand. And I'm like, okay, well, let me like keep explaining. I'm like, okay, all of the escort cards that are in each of these circles are the shape of an apostrophe. You can't see them. They're in color. They match each way. And
Mhm.
it's like, I don't really get it. She still would not get it. She
Okay.
paid for it. She said yes, and she went with it because she could tell I was personally so excited and like giddy about it. And the trust level she had for me spoke volumes because there's not enough visuals, sketches, schematics, examples I could give her. She was just like, I just still don't understand. But I'm going to trust you and I'm going to go
Because
with it.
you are the creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
Mhm.
invested clearly so much in this. And like, yeah.
I mean, and it was amazing. That wall is 8 feet by 8 feet by 8 feet. It's a full box. It was a showstopper. And people couldn't get enough of it and they loved it so much. But it really came from the trust of this mom. The bride loved it. The groom loved it. It was convincing her enough over time that I'm not going to lead you astray. I listen to your concerns. I'm providing you with something amazing. And I'm personally, genuinely so pumped about it. I just wanted to do this so bad. And so it happened. It worked. And the experience and the final result, the mom turned to me and was just like, this is literally incredible. It's better than I ever could have thought. That's luxury. Next. I have a couple slides here of just some fun comments from people that we've worked with, which you can obviously read as we go through these. But for me, I am a vendor's vendor at heart. My clients are number one. I want them to be cared for. I want to fight for them. If there's a discount to be had or something that's unnecessary that we can cut, I'm all for it. But I also really care about my vendors. I really need them to come through, and supporting them and building each other up. That relationship is also luxury. Being a bitch and running around with a clipboard and not willing to get down and dirty and help set tables, move chairs in a rainstorm, meet somebody halfway, you know, find something out for someone or they need a little bit of help about load in, you have to be that person too. You don't get to luxury level without building your relationships of your vendor friends and building each other up. And along the way, remembering who you were from day one to ensure that we can all get there together. It doesn't work as just a singular person. And I really care about my reputation and that it precedes me. I want everyone to be like, you're even cooler in person. I can't believe you're wearing sneakers and you're moving tables. Yeah, because I'm not going to stand back and just, show up and it's all done. It never shows up and it's all done. And it's never done the way I want it to unless I'm there. Alex, you can go to the next slide. So that it's for my clients, it's for my photographer friends. It's for the venue that I was respectful. It's for people I don't know. If you DM me on Instagram, I will write you back. It really is me on Instagram doing it. I think that's part of why things work the way that they do, because that relationship is fluid and it's always the same. I'm exactly who you see me right now, as I am online, as I am on site. And I think that consistency across the board gives everyone solace that you get what you pay for. I am exactly who I am. And when you don't present anything differently, that trust level from clients and from vendors, if I do call to say, hey, I need a favor. This client is awesome and they are right for you, but they kind of don't meet your minimum. But hey, it's January. I'm wondering if you would do this. And they do, or they try, or at least they say, I really can't, but I love that you asked. That relationship is part of the luxury experience, because I'm getting great things for my clients, but I'm making sure I'm connecting the right vendors to make the entire experience feel symbiotic. Next slide. And a lot of that comes from vendors that produce things that I dream up that are crazy. Especially things like floral partners and production teams and rental companies where they don't own that, they don't have that, but they're willing to buy it, or they're interested in something because I have an idea. But I always want to give them credit. It's not just the Laura show. It's that someone listened and I gave them ideas and we're talking back and forth. And again, that trust level, and it, proof in the sauce. When you've kind of done it a few times, it works, but it's coming together to do them together and making it and doing it over and over and over again. Next slide. Okay, my luxury do's and don'ts. And I love this picture so much. This is my bride, Chelsea, from last year, and her adorable groom, Corey. She is pregnant and about to have their first baby like any day now. We surprised her by gaining the trust of her dad to re-carpet the entire ballroom red as a surprise. Probably one of my favorite moments of my entire career, but she had no idea. And I called the dad about 3-4 weeks before the wedding and said, we got to do this. I know it wasn't in the budget, but I know this vendor has this red carpet already. There was supposed to be an event the night before in the ballroom of this hotel, and that event canceled last minute, which opened the door for me to be able to ask the vendor, would they come in the day before? Could we make this happen? And the trust of the client to provide an over-the-top luxury result, everyone went for it. And man, it paid off. Anyway, I love this photo so much. Okay, so my luxury do's and don'ts. Do manage everyone's expectations. Everyone has a budget. I hate when dad or mom or bride or whomever says, oh no, we don't really have a budget. Honey, everyone has a number that they're scared of. So I'll just say, okay, great. So like 1.5, we're good. Oh, no, not 1.5. Okay. So when I start adding stuff up for you and you start choking, you do have a budget number. You do have an idea. But I'm typically managing people's expectations from the jump. Your head count, for example, you have 300 people. That's a very different event than 150 people. And we've cut out all the cool venues for X, Y, and Z. And I think this goes back to being unapologetic. I don't need to be there to soothe people. I'm there hired to provide them knowledge and education. Okay, dream big and be weird. Create something different. Go for it. Present it. You do have to show these darn people all the visuals, because my favorite sentence is, I'm a visual person. Can you sketch it out for me? And I'm always like, if you are visual, then you'll be able to visualize what I'm describing to you. So you are not visual. You actually need to see examples. And I'm happy to do sketches.
So you turn in the tables for them.
Yes.
Laura, you forgot to mention schooling your clients.
Yes, right? So I think,
Let me educate you.
Yeah, so I'm trying to be as weird as possible. And being weird meaning do something you haven't seen. Take something that was an inspiration for the Queen's Jubilee, a piece of architecture, artwork, whatever it is, and not just someone else's wedding, to take that one little nugget that you made you stop in a store window and go, wow, you know what? That would actually be really cool if I mimicked that 100 times over and made a pattern out of it. That's where the luxury comes in. You're thinking outside of the box, you're creating new things. You're not just picking the things that are already existing or have already been done. Do gain the trust of your clients, but also hold space for your vendors, as I had mentioned previously. It has to be both. You don't get anywhere without both, and you have to find the balance between the two. And if you're struggling right now, and I've heard this a lot recently because I feel like everyone's like, how do I get to be a luxury vendor? How do I level up? You do that by creating great vendor teams, by finding partners in crime that are other great vendors that also give a shit, that also want to level up, and make your own team. Make a group of people that create beautiful things together. And then it's easier for these clients to be like, well, all those 3 or 4 people work together all the time and look what they're doing. And yeah, sometimes that's a discounted thing. Sometimes that's doing something for free. Sometimes that's exploring something together. But together, then you can raise things up. Okay, don't. I love a don't. It takes money, but it is not about the money. My favorite, most viral weddings are not the most expensive weddings I've ever done. Some of our most expensive weddings you will actually never see. And it's not because they're famous, and it's not because it's ugly. They're beautiful. Sometimes the most expensive weddings, though, are the most logistically sound, maybe not as viral. They might just all be white, also beautiful, but not as exciting, or maybe not as telling such a story that it's connecting to people. So it takes money to do all this stuff. It certainly took money to recarpet a ballroom from brown floral carpet, bright red and pink, but it wasn't the craziest thing I've ever done, and it certainly made a pow. Copying is not the sincerest form of flattery. I actually hate that sentence. Please don't copy. If I see one more person doing my Tomato Girl Summer escort cards again, I'm like, do something different. Take inspiration, but twist it. Make it personal. These fun moments are really thoughtful for me because it was about that client. It was about her story. This girl, for example, we served pickles on the dance floor from her favorite pickle stand in New York City because that's who she is. That's literally what she does every Saturday morning at the farmer's market. It wasn't because pickles are trendy. It literally is. We shipped them in freezer packs from New York to Washington, D.C. so she could have the specific pickle on a stick. That's not trendy. That's listening. That's luxury. Don't blame the clients for not knowing. They don't know. They've hired you. Don't expect them to understand budget. Don't expect them to get that flowers should be X, or that transportation's important, or that they didn't think about X, Y, and Z. Remind yourself constantly that you've been hired for a job and they don't know this, and that's why you were hired. That luxury level comes from providing the service at every corner. Next. This is my favorite thing I've ever done, I think.
I think this is one of the most viral weddings you have. Like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, funny enough, Daria, it's not a wedding.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
It's not.
No, it's
I
not.
wish it was a wedding. I would love to do this for a wedding. It's actually, goes into finding that luxury partnership. This is actually hosted by a hotel.
Mm.
They hired me to showcase their space and host a dinner for luxury planners. And I literally had this idea. I was in Target and I saw a bucket of 3 things that were you know, red, yellow, and blue. And I was like,
And blue.
huh. Primary colors. Oh, I kind of love the Matisse vibe. The whole hotel had all of this like artwork stuff.
Mhm.
Each of their hotel rooms and meeting rooms are all named after an artist. And so I just called them up and I was like, for that dinner we're hosting, can I do like this Matisse inspired modern red, yellow, blue thing? And they literally said, do whatever you want. There is not a better sentence in the world than do whatever you want. And so I called up my floral friend and I called up my rental friend and I called up the paper people and I said, I have this idea. This is what I want to do. Can we paint your tables? Can we do blue flowers so they don't look like crap? Because blue flowers are very tricky.
Mhm.
Can we do this? Can the rental company literally painted the tables to whatever Pantone I said? It was a shock and awe. And the part that you don't see in this one picture, but if you follow us on Instagram, you can see, we actually secretly invited everyone by color. And so 16 people got an invitation in red and said, please wear red. 16 people got an invitation in yellow, and 16 got one in blue. They did not know that each of them had different invitations. So when they all showed up in the lobby in these colors, everyone was like, wait, I thought I was supposed to wear yellow. I thought I was supposed to wear blue. The reaction, again, this goes back to the days of, you know, fashion show production, seeing everyone's faces when they walked in
Mhm.
to see that where they were sitting was matching their dress or their suit.
Yeah.
That is luxury. That
That's incredible.
experience
Yeah.
for 16 each different people, creme de la creme, like obsessed with that entire moment. And then as a planner, guys, making sure that everyone was wearing the right outfit and sitting at the right seat. When that part happened for me, I was like, because what if someone wore the wrong color or was sat in the wrong seat? I would have just lost my mind. But it all worked out and it was a joy. But those partnerships and collabs and pushing something that no one has seen before, that is luxury. That's what we're providing people. And I had to build it and show it before it comes back around. Next slide, Alex. Another fave. This whole tablescape was actually for a Valentine's Day event. And I went super vampy and like dark and mysterious and blood sucking and, you know, for fun. If you can kind of look there, you'll see that all of these flowers are actually painted silver. And the last minute ad, literally the week before, I had this epiphany about garlic and like, ooh, vampires, garlic, this would be so cool. So I called up the floral team and I said, what do you think if we did like chunks of garlic holding down each of the glass taper candles? And she was like, okay, all right. Yeah, we can do that. It was amazing. And it was just one of those weird moments of like, do we do this? Yeah, we do it. And we get really strange and unique. And again, people's faces, this is my fashion show production moment, walking in and seeing the combination of kind of stone in time flowers with glass and this spooky kind of vibe with the texture of garlic was a joy. People had no idea. And we had asked them again with the dress code to wear bone colored things and slate colored things. It really just looked amazing. But again, it's those midnight ideas where you're like, I think we should do this, but I'm not sure. Just do it. Next. Okay, so I'm sure we have lots of questions, and I think this is my favorite part. Shall we get after it, Daria?
Yes, let's do it. I just
Yes.
I was like 1 second ahead of you. I was like, prepare your questions. I will
Oh, okay,
And
good.
I think
just-
Laura, you left everyone speechless because
speechless, absolutely
last week we
speechless.
had a conversation with Bash Please about pricing, and that's like, of course, a lot of questions. like pops up. In your
It was a
case,
heated
guys, I really
conversation.
like it. Yeah, it's like if you have questions, please put in the chat, and I will just summarize everything what I love the most, and also from observing your presentation, what notes I made. First, that we always say, Daria and I always say that whatever you do, it should be like natural. So your confidence, it's very natural. And to me, it's the biggest proof as a marketing person that whatever you do, if it's natural to you and you embrace it, acknowledge that, and make it your superpower, it really works in your favor.
Yes.
And that's why, and I believe like we have like 7 triggers, and your trigger is passion and power, because you're passionate about what you do, you're a great professional, you dream big, but also you have power to inspire people, to lead them, and even sometimes to educate in the way you do it, and people just lean on you and trust you.
Yeah.
So that was amazing. And for everyone who is joining us now in the real life and who will watch the recording, find your superpower. So maybe you're not as bold, that's all right, but find your way to charm and convince, because in your case, the charm is being very much out of the box. And again, like very charismatic.
Yeah.
All right, so now I can see some
Yeah, I can see
questions.
some questions.
All right, let's just.
I can probably
yeah, the
stop
first,
sharing
yeah,
so that we can see everybody.
yeah, let's start sharing. So yeah, and we always, guys, encourage you, yes, to turn on your mics, videos, just to have a conversation with Laura. But I'm gonna start with the first one from Jenny. And actually, I always wanted to like ask you this question, like, have you always designed and thought this way, or evolved over the years in the industry? Yes, because by listening to you, like having this example, Queen's Jubilee, Matisse, right? You have to be educated to see those things. So can you elaborate on this? Like how to?
Yeah. I think anyone that's in this industry, you're probably in your heart of heart, you were always creative in school. You were always bossy, or, you know, if you know anyone from when you were little, they're like, oh yeah, of course you're a floral person now. Of course you design weddings. Of course, you know, that makes sense. I was always the bossy kid. I always loved clothes. I always loved fashion. I always loved painting and art. Like I said, I went to school for fashion design. So yes, I think your generalized makeup of who you are. I'm an Aries fire sign, firstborn daughter.
That actually says a lot.
Yeah, that's like,
Yeah.
yes,
like,
James.
oh,
Yes,
yes.
like it's literally, I mean, it's kind of exactly what I do this job. But I think the confidence and figuring it out over time and going, wow, the weirder I do stuff or the crazier I go, the more it comes back to me and it pushes me further. So yes, I think I've always kind of been this way. But I also think by doing and pushing and going further, it pushes you to say it's okay. So yes, but also I just leaned all the way the fuck in and just went crazy and did all of it. So yes.
Thank you. So the next question is from Anna. How do you gain the trust of the client in your design direction, that they come with a specific vision and this isn't there you want to take things?
Great question. I typically, when I'm listening to a potential client, I never tell anyone that I'm available until I hear kind of what they want to do. That's going to sound like a little crazy, but if they're at a venue that I hate working at, if they're, oh, I definitely want to do neon purple and it's purple everything and I'm obsessed with purple. Guys, I hate purple.
You love colors, but not purple.
I literally hate purple.
So no eggplants, only tomato.
Yeah, well, eggplant's okay. It's like that Barney purple. Remember like 10, 12 years ago, everything was like silver weddings and purple, silver and purple. I think I just did a whole year of that and I can't stand it. So I'm not joking. If someone's like, I want to do a purple wedding, I might actually turn it down. I want to hear what they want to do generally. But you're hiring me for my designs, you're hiring me to be unique. And so I think it's really important that there's room to grow beyond the initial thought process. When they're so strong in what they want to do, I don't really know if I'm the right client for them either. I have plenty of planner friends that I would refer who can execute a very specific idea.
Mhm.
And I don't really love Pinterest either. I think it's great for finding out the name of a flower or being specific about a type of photography. The client just doesn't know that that's film or that's portraits or whatever. But I think when you come in and you already know, why am I here? You need a planner that's just going to execute, not design.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's
So
hard, but it's still about being unapologetically self, like knowing that
Yeah.
this is something that
Yeah.
you
And
can
I
execute.
selfishly, and I really mean this, but selfishly, I'm in this too. I want to do something cool. It is about the money. I need to get paid, guys. Like, let's get real. But I I also want to be personally excited. I don't want to just churn and burn stuff out anymore. I did years of that, and it's fine. Sometimes we all know what a churn and burn wedding is. We all sometimes just it's a paycheck wedding. Fine, totally cool. Currently, right now for me, I need to be creatively fueled by something I'm excited about. And sometimes that's waiting until 6 months before the wedding to truly dive into the crazier ideas because we haven't figured it out yet.
Mhm.
And not
yeah,
just from
that's a
12
great.
months out and the client's like, I want this, I want millions of flowers, it has to be X, Y, and Z. I like this pattern. That stuff is usually pretty stale by the time the wedding comes around.
Mhm.
We've already seen it happen. Everyone's used those linens or, that way that tables, I wouldn't do a caterpillar table again. Like I've done, the tables that are all, that was
Mhm. Yeah,
so
yeah,
great
yeah.
last year. Obsessed, loved it. I'm done with it now. Like I don't want to do it again. And if your client is so stuck on it, but they want to do it next fall, it's like, well, that was 2024. That's not
Yeah, it's
2026.
old news already. Yeah,
Right.
let's come up to
And I do think also that when people want a classic wedding, when you look back at a wedding from the 80s, that is classic for that time. Lean into who you are in this moment. It's okay for it doesn't age as well. I don't really care that you got married this year at this time and you loved this.
Mhm.
Great. Because
Yes.
your kids and your friends, they will experience it with you. Um, it doesn't need to be timeless. Timeless right now is not going to be the same in 20 years anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you are the representation of your era, and like,
Yes.
you love it. This is,
Yeah.
this is who you are. Okay. The question from Justin.
So let's take the last question because it's
Yeah, last
already
question
we are
because
running out of
out of
time.
time. Okay. Do you have any do's and don'ts about reaching out to a planner as a wedding vendor to work together?
I will combine it with the next one, and there
Yeah.
is a next one very similar. How if you're a wedding photographer or like not the planner, if you have also creative ideas, how you can impress the planner with them. So it's kind of
Yes.
broader topic. And with
Yeah. So again, your vendor team is everything. I think finding your troop, finding your tribe, making you guys push each other to do the things, um, is success. That's how we all get to these places. It's not one singular person doing all the things by themselves. That's impossible. As we all know, a wedding day can be 10 people, it could be 100 people to make an event happen for everybody else. So that partnership level, I love when someone sends me a message like, hey, I have something unique I'd like to share with you. I do X, Y, and Z. I produce X, whatever. Always reach out. I think also providing space for not everyone wants to go get coffee with you. Time is very precious. So providing information of who, what, when, where, why, how much does it cost? How could this be used in your event? Here's how you can reach out to me whenever you're ready, but just plugging in the idea that you offer this amazing thing is great. A lot of people are like, I'm going to be in town and I want to get coffee with you. I literally can't even get coffee with my best friend. So, no, sorry, but also just send me your info. Like you put it in front of me and now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, I never really thought about doing that at a wedding, but that's kind of cool. Oh, and that price point's really great. I'm going to save that idea for later. And so I think just being respectful of everyone's time, it's just tight, but
Mhm.
it does make sense to reach out and find your tribe and asking other vendors like, hey, is there anything you're trying to do this year? Do you have a client that would appreciate X? Or does someone have the bandwidth to do Y? And I think as the planner, when I have rental companies or production companies or even a photographer who's like, I have really been wanting to do this. How do you think this could work? I always appreciate someone coming to me first because sometimes I'm like, oh my God, that would be amazing. Let's present it to the client together. Or, oh my gosh, that sounds really cool logistically. Like, do not mention that to the client. That is not going to work. They'll get excited about it, and it literally it's they don't have the money for it. We don't have the time. No. But let's save that for the next client that we can do that for. So if it's a cool photography moment or you really want to do that amazing kind of Vanity Fair backdrop and chairs and couches, like I can meet you halfway if they have the budget for it, but don't tell the client about it when now I have to find another $20,000 to produce it because they got excited. So I think as the vendor team is all talking, and then if it's kosher that we can then sell it to the client, it can work really well.
So be
That's great.
proactive, yes, and offer
And
ideas.
grounded also.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
grounded.
be
And
proactive,
Laura,
but I think if as a
Mhm.
vendor, if you have a crazy idea or you want to pursue something, make sure that the planner and designer knows about it before the client, because sometimes, I'm guarding their budget or the sanity of somebody more first, not trying to hinder some cool, amazing moment. But, like I said, it all takes money, but it's not about the money.
Yeah.
yeah. And also you don't want some like distraction because the clients got distracted by themselves. You don't want
Yes.
vendors to distract them. Actually,
Yeah.
I want like to wrap it up. And I think that Laura, you're a Walt Disney because Walt Disney is superpower. They put the creative team separately with business team, but you do both.
Yes.
You allow yourself to dream big, to go wild, to be creative, but also you're very grounded in terms of you deliver from the way you build relationship with vendors, from the way you handle all the like journey with clients, and also the way you move tables if needed. So
Yeah.
that's, I believe this is where your confidence comes from. That is where your charisma comes from. And that's like you're a Walt Disney lady.
Of
I
the
And that's
love
wedding
very
that. I'm
industry.
powerful.
going to add that to my website.
You see, we're slowly building up the brand of Laura,
Like in
I
one
love
person.
some
that.
Yeah.
value.
That's a very unique cocktail that I
It is
like
a
that
unique
explains.
cocktail. I think there are plenty of amazing design teams and then planner teams, and then those work together. For me, the logistics and the planning don't work without the design and vice versa. And I'm ending up hiring lots of vendors to make all that happen. But I love that combination. And I just am too anal to let go of either one.
That is your power. And
Yeah.
thank you so very much
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
spending
it's
this
time to
time.
write in a chat the thank yous, the compliments to Laura, and yes, yeah, David,
Please don't hold yourself.
don't
Yeah.
hold
Be
yourself.
very generous and the
You
kind
Oh
words
compliment.
my
because
goodness.
Laura shared a lot and she was very honest and not wild
Always.
actually in sharing your wisdom. It was
Yeah.
very well structured with great examples and also knowing the behind the scenes of the project that we see on your Instagram. That was amazing. How you came up with the ideas, how you sold it. And I cannot even imagine the amount of pressure when the client trusted you, but he didn't buy it, your pitch. So
Yes.
like
And you still went ahead with
it
it.
was a
Yeah,
lot of bravery you put into
yeah.
place.
Thank you.
And
I
thanks
know we didn't
everyone for
get to
joining.
everyone's questions, but if anyone wants to follow up or DM me with a question, I'm happy to answer whenever. And if you follow us at Grit and Grace Inc., so Grit and Grace Inc., You can always DM there. I'm happy to respond to. I love all the Q&A, but
Yeah, just
I
put
was
it on
just
the chat.
chatting away.
Yeah. So thank you so much. People are just sending the messages that it's been so inspiring. You are amazing and you have an incredible mind. So thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone. Yes, I just put in the chat the Instagram bio, but we will also email it to all of you, do the recording. Yeah. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, everyone. And have
Thank you,
an
and have
amazing morning, evening,
oh
night.
evening.
Yeah, from wherever you
Evening,
are.
morning,
Bye.
afternoon.
Yes.
Bye,
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.